Paul Hamilton here as it's a Sabres game day, 12:30. Sabres at home at KeyBank Center against the Colorado Avalanche, and Paul jumps in. Paul's appearance brought to you by Raylax Honda. Raylax, we got this. Hey, Paul, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good. We got a game day. Bills and Sabres each playing kind of game day, a doubleheader. They're, granted, pushed apart by a bunch, 12:30 Sabres Avalanche, and then 7:15 Bills and Falcons. So that's exciting, Paul. With the Sabres, all right, Paul, it's 2 games in, and the question, unfortunately, I have to ask is how bad is it?
To me, it's almost shocking. I mean, you spend the whole off season and during training camp telling us how, things are going to be different and how much you're going to improve as a team. And, I mean, you're last in the league in goal differential after 2 games and -6. You did okay in your home opener as far as defensively. You didn't give up a whole lot. It was basically a 1-0 game throughout. But you really didn't. You got 37 shots on Shesterkin, but there weren't too many. Maybe 4 or 5, possibly 6 really good scoring chances. I mean, it's not like he had to stand on his head or anything like that to get that shutout. And then you show up in Boston for the first period, your 4th period of the season, and you don't compete at all. Your head coach is absolutely livid with what he saw from that team. You get outshot 17-2. You spent the whole period in your own end. If they won a battle, I don't remember it at all. And it's like, what are you guys doing? This is your 4th period of the season. You really haven't played a great period yet. And that's the effort that you give when you're supposed to be better. I mean, you've heard me say this many times. Your best players have to be your best players. Where are they? Nothing. Absolutely nothing out of their best players. And, Lindy Ruff just said, you are on any team, your best players have to be your best players, and this was not a good night for them, as he said after Saturday's game. Except maybe for Zucker, who did score the goal. He's the only one in the team I've seen around the net in 2 games. And why did they score their first goal, only goal of the season, 109 minutes into the season, is because they had players and pucks going to the net. Now, when you have a player going to the net, you're going to bring an opponent with you. And the puck went in off the opponent and into the net. Zucker took the shot. Well, why was there anybody around the net really in the last 2 games? I mean, they're not around the net. They're not bothering the goaltender. They're playing on the perimeter. And I have no explanation. I got to tell you, nothing really surprises me all that much in sports. I am shocked by what I'm seeing. I understand they have injuries, but to compete, you can still compete even though Josh Norris and Kesselring and Luukkonen and Benson and Greenway are not in your lineup. You can still compete. And I don't know what to tell you because to me, and I don't understand how the owner sat there and watched that and did nothing. After the owner's been told the whole offseason since April how things are going to be different from management, coaches, and players, and I don't know how he could sit through that and do nothing.
What would you do, Paul?
I'd have a new GM, first of all, right off the bat. I would have had one anyway, but if for some reason you're going to give him another chance with 6 for a 6th season, and that's what I look at the second game of the year, where I have a team that doesn't compete. That's what you brought to the table for this team. No.
Mm-hmm. Paul Hamilton.
I could not sit there and watch this for another minute.
What will they do? What can they do without Josh Norris for months? I mean, how deep does this go? They wanted him to play all situations. He's a very important piece, and they cleared him, of course. And if the injury is unrelated, it's unrelated. But it's a guy that gets hurt all the time, and he's hurt after a game.
Yeah. And, now Yuri Kulik is going to have to step into that role. And he's a young player. He did okay with Thompson and Benson last year. I thought he improved greatly there. And they won some hockey games with him there. But they also won some hockey games down the stretch when there really wasn't much pressure on them. So they were able to win with that but each center now is going to have to move up. I mean, if you're looking at your center depth chart, instead of, Norris leading the way, it's now Kulik, McLeod, Krebs, and Kozak. And that's, what the depth chart is. But, Kulik, I think, can still improve from what we saw last year. And I think we saw good improvement from him last year. He's not Norris by any stretch of the imagination. But if you're ever going to overcome the loss of Josh Norris, you at least got to show up on the ice. You can't play like you did against the Boston Bruins.
Paul, do you think goal scoring is going to be a problem with Norris out? I mean, he was the answer, right? Like a lot when they were asked, like, hey, where are you going to replace the Peterka goals? And he might be the first name that would get mentioned. And through 2 games, I mean, the only goal that's gone in was off a stick. And it's not like they're getting a lot of chances that they're missing on. There have been a couple, right? Like Krebs had one against Boston. But it's not like they're consistently around the net coming close.
Well, yeah, if they're going to replace the goals of Peterka, they got to get around the net. They can't play on the perimeter, or nobody's going to score. They had a couple of chances in Boston to score some goals. They had a couple of outnumbered in the second and third period. Thompson had a chance in the slot early and missed the net. They're back to that again, and they got to just work. They got to just work around the net. I mean, Lindy Ruff was talking again. We're too much on the fancy side. He's not wrong. I mean, they're looking for that cute play instead of going to work and getting to the net and outworking the other team around the net. That's what you have to do to do that. And you want to help score some more goals than you did last year. How about the power play? That's no different than what I saw last year.
0 for 8 to start. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you would somehow improve your power play, if Lindy Ruff would come up with a power play that would actually work, you are going to improve your. Because look at last year, they were 10th in the league in scoring. As bad as the power play was for 3/4 of the year, the last quarter of the year it was better. It was around 20%. You didn't capitalize on that momentum that you had in the last part of the year on it because, as you mentioned, it's 0 for 8.
0 for 8, and I saw, Paul, that they were only credited for 1 scoring chance on the 4 power plays they had against Boston. I mean, they seem like they're having trouble just hanging on to the puck, let alone even getting shots through when they have it, or getting in the zone, right? Like, and that's kind of what it looked like at the beginning of last year. It's not just that they're 0 and 8. It's, again, like, they don't even look like they've got a hope or they've got a plan to get into the zone and kind of move the puck around.
And you have Rasmus Dahlin as the quarterback. If Rasmus Dahlin is the quarterback of your power play, I think you should have a good power play. You've got a shooter over there in Tage Thompson. There are places to play Ryan McLeod. I don't think on the top power play is one of them. I don't know what Lindy Ruff's doing with that. I'd have Yuri Kulik over there. He wants a left-handed shot. Well, Yuri Kulik's a left-handed shot who can absolutely fire it and has in the AHL. And having Ryan McLeod on the number 1 power play is not working right now. And I don't understand why, if you want a left-handed shooter over there, why not put Yuri Kulik over there?
If there's any good news, Paul, it seemed like that was another really good game from Alex Lyon.
Alex Lyon has been great. Yeah, I mean, if you want to talk numbers, I mean, as poorly as this team's played, Alex Lyon has a 2.55 goals against and a .919 save percentage. I mean, so it's he's been the shining light. He's the reason why they got away with being outshot 17-2. As poorly as we're talking about this Bruin game, the Bruins didn't put the game away until 3 seconds were left in the game. It was still 2-1. I mean, the Sabres, if they would have somehow scored when they pulled their goaltender, they would have tied the game and gotten out of there with points as poorly as they played. And that was because of Alex Lyon, I believe. And, the empty netter scored with 3 seconds left in the game. So Alex Lyon, I think, has done an excellent job for them. Now, the Colorado's here. Anybody remember Colorado last year? Not once, but twice. I mean, the first game here in December, Buffalo 11:49 into the game. We're up 4-0. They lost that game 5-4. Mm-hmm. And in Denver, they took a 3-0 lead until the 14:58 mark of the second period, and they lost that game in overtime 6-5. Mm-hmm. And here's Colorado, who's comes in 2-0-1. Their goaltender actually has better numbers. Scott Wedgwood, who Lindy Ruff would know very well from New Jersey, he's got a .925 save percentage and .195. I mean, he did give up 4 against the Dallas Stars in or 5 to the Dallas Stars in a shootout. But the other 2 games against Los Angeles and Utah, he gave up 1 goal in each of those games. And they got 2 guys that have 6 points in 3 games, including Nate McKinnon. So that's what they've got for this afternoon to try to get out of this.
Excited to be there, Paul. I'll be there with you.
It is 10:30 a.m. local time for the Avalanche.
Morning
skate. We'll see how they look for morning hockey.
Morning skate for the Avs. Thanks, Paul.
Take care.
That's the Eye in the Blue and Gold. Paul giving us the rundown. Eye in the Blue and Gold. Brought to you by Great Lakes Building Systems. We keep an eye on your business so you don't have to. Great Lakes Building Systems, our business is protecting your business.